Let's go to Burgos! Hola, vamos! So, Burgos is located in the north of Spain, and it's an iconic city in the entire road of the Camino de Santiago. Throughout the city, as on throughout the Camino de Santiago, we see seashells marking the way the path a pilgrim must walk. Now, if you're not really sure what the Camino de Santiago is, I'll give you the TLDR, so don't worry. The Camino de Santiago was built in the early 1st century whenever the tomb of Saint James, who was one of Jesus's disciples from the Synoptic Gospels, was found to be buried around here. After that, people started to make the journey and to go and walk and pay their respects to him and do a really religious thing for them. People who walk along the Camino are called pilgrims, and they're iconically marked along the way. Burgos is an iconic city in the Camino de Santiago due to this amazing cathedral that's built here. We'll go into more detail on it in a future video. I just want to give you some pictures of it though. This here is a statue that sits a tired and weary pilgrim sitting in front of this massive cathedral. This cathedral has been built for about over 1,500 years. A bunch of the city was torn down in order so it could be built more. As Christianity was starting to boom in Europe, around 1000 AD, the king made a bunch of improvements along the Camino de Santiago path, including putting up hospices in case there was a pilgrim who had some bad stuff happen to him. People started opening their doors, hostels started popping up to help feed and nourish these pilgrims who were on a spiritual journey. Now, as we can see, we're inside the Cathedral of Burgos. It's important for every pilgrim to come in here and pay homage on the reason on why they're walking the trail. Some people walk the Camino out of pure respect for their religion. Others walk it to find more inner peace and understand more about them. And others walk it just because they want to do something different with their life. Inside the cathedral, though, we can see such glamour and glitz from the Catholic religion. A lot of the relics here that we see are over 1,000 years old. There's over 19 different chapels in this cathedral that are built, where many of the famous bishops and famous people in the Catholic religion were buried. In the catacombs, there are rooms that mark all of the different archbishops and popes that have lived within the Catholic Church. And this is a pretty epic sight, so if you haven't seen it, the video doesn't really do justice. The ceilings in this cathedral though, just look at that. It's like a spirograph, you guys. Okay, enough of religion. So as we continue to walk up and walk around the city, we're able to actually climb to the top of Burgos. And let me tell you, the view from the top is something that you've never seen before. So jump cut, let's get there. Just look at this. And this was on a cloudy day. Whenever the sun is shining bright, it's spectacular. Walking around the city though, we continue to see more relics of pilgrims around the city. This pilgrim has sore feet, very similar to mine after I get done with a good day of walking and of travel. I find it really cool that the city embraces it being part of the Camino de Santiago. So now we're gonna walk over to the monastery and check out this old monastery, you guys. We didn't go inside when we were here due to touring hours and schedules of our train and that sort of stuff. But I want to show you how cool and how quiet this monastery is. So this monastery was built in 1199 AD, and it was commissioned from a couple of the kings and a couple of the religious leaders at the time. inside here, relics that are over 1,000 years old are kept. It must be amazing to see what those are, especially if you're of that religion. No trip in Burgos is complete, though, without just wandering the streets and seeing where they lead. And with that, I think it's time for us to go find a gin and tonic and see where we end up next. Thanks for coming with us to Burgos today. See you next time. Bye.